What if the very suffering that breaks us could become the foundation for our greatest strength? This profound question lies at the heart of Viktor Frankl's revolutionary approach to human psychology. Viktor Emil Frankl was more than just another psychologist writing theories from his office. He was a Holocaust survivor who experienced the ultimate test of human resilience in Nazi concentration camps. His book, Man's Search for Meaning, is divided into two parts. The first recounts his harrowing camp experiences, while the second presents his groundbreaking psychological theory called logotherapy. It is this second part that holds the secrets to transforming our understanding of what it means to be human. The transition from personal experience to scientific theory represents one of psychology's most remarkable achievements. Frankl didn't simply write about his suffering and leave it there. He used his experiences as the foundation for a comprehensive system of psychotherapy that would help millions find meaning in their struggles. This movement from individual pain to collective healing demonstrates the power of human consciousness to transcend even the most horrific circumstances. Logotherapy stands on three fundamental pillars. The first is the freedom of will. Frankl believed that even in the most constrained circumstances, human beings retain the ultimate freedom to choose their attitude toward any situation. This isn't naive optimism, it's profound recognition that our final freedom is our ability to choose our stance in the face of whatever life presents. The second pillar is the will to meaning. While Freud proposed that humans are driven by pleasure and Adler suggested power, Frankl argued that our deepest drive is the search for meaning. This fundamental motivation shapes everything we do and determines whether we thrive or merely survive. When we have purpose, we can endure almost anything. When purpose is absent, even comfortable circumstances feel empty. The third pillar is the meaning of life. Frankl insisted that life has meaning under all circumstances, even the most miserable ones. This meaning isn't something we create arbitrarily. Rather, it's something we discover through our engagement with life itself. The meaning may change from moment to moment, but it's always there waiting to be found. One of Frankl's most significant contributions was his diagnosis of the existential vacuum. This is the feeling of inner emptiness and meaninglessness that characterizes much of modern life. As traditional sources of meaning like religion, family structures, and community bonds weakened, people found themselves with unprecedented freedom but little direction. They had more choices than ever, but less certainty about which choices would lead to fulfillment. The symptoms manifest in various ways. Some experience chronic boredom and apathy. Others feel restless and constantly seek new experiences to fill the void. Still others become consumed with materialism, believing possessions will provide missing meaning. But recognizing the existential vacuum is the first step toward overcoming it. Frankl identified three primary sources through which humans discover meaning. The first consists of creative values involving what we give to the world through work, deeds, and creations. This doesn't mean only artists find meaning through creativity. Any work done with dedication and purpose can become meaningful. The teacher who inspires students, the nurse who cares for patients, the parent who raises children, all engage creative values when they approach tasks with intentionality. The key isn't what we do, but how we do it. Even mundane jobs become meaningful when viewed as opportunities to contribute something valuable to the world. Frankl found meaning helping others as a psychiatrist, but recognized meaning could be found in any occupation when viewed as service to something larger than oneself. The second source involves experiential values, encompassing what we take from the world through encounters with truth, beauty, and love. These are moments when we're moved by sunsets, inspired by music, or touched by kindness. They're experiences of falling in love, forming deep friendships, or feeling connected to nature. These experiences don't have to be extraordinary. Often, the most profound meanings are found in quiet moments of connection. The parent watching their child sleep, the couple holding hands after many years, the individual finding peace in meditation, all are examples of experiential values at work. The third source consists of attitudinal values, representing what we become when facing unchangeable situations. When life presents unavoidable suffering, loss, or limitation, we still have the opportunity to choose our response. This doesn't mean being passive when difficulties can be overcome, but when encountering truly unchangeable aspects of existence, our attitude becomes the arena where meaning can still be found. Frankl developed specific therapeutic techniques. Paradoxical intention involves encouraging patients to wish for or exaggerate what they fear. A person with social anxiety might be encouraged to try embarrassing themselves socially. Paradoxically, this often reduces anxiety because the person realizes their fears were largely unfounded. De-reflection involves shifting attention away from problems toward meaningful activities and relationships. Many symptoms are maintained by excessive self-focus. By helping patients redirect attention toward external sources of meaning, symptoms often diminish naturally. One of Frankl's most significant contributions was his critique of reductionism. He argued that many psychological theories reduce humans to mere products of biology, childhood experiences, or social conditioning. In concentration camps, he observed that people with similar backgrounds responded very differently. Some became bitter, while others maintained dignity. Some gave up hope, while others found ways to transcend their situation. These observations convinced Frankl that humans possess a specifically human dimension that cannot be reduced to biological or psychological drives. This dimension involves our capacity for self-transcendence, moral choice, and meaning-making. It allows us to rise above our conditioning to become more than our past might predict. The concept of self-transcendence stands at the heart of Frankl's understanding of human nature. Unlike self-actualization, which focuses on developing one's potential, self-transcendence involves moving beyond the self toward people, causes, or meanings larger than individual existence. Frankl argued that self-transcendence is the fundamental characteristic defining what it means to be human. We are beings who can forget themselves in devotion to others, sacrifice personal interests for principles, and find greatest fulfillment serving something beyond themselves. This capacity explains many noble aspects of human behavior. The parent who sacrifices for children, the activist dedicated to justice, the scientist pursuing truth regardless of personal cost. All are examples of self-transcendence in action. When comparing logotherapy to psychoanalysis, the differences become clear. While psychoanalysis focuses on the past and unconscious drives, logotherapy is oriented toward the future and conscious choices. While psychoanalysis emphasizes childhood experiences, logotherapy stresses the importance of purpose in shaping behavior. The practical implications are significant. A logotherapist helps clients identify values and purposes rather than explore childhood traumas. They're more interested in what gives life meaning than what causes pain. This forward-looking approach often leads to faster progress and more sustainable healing. The practical applications of logotherapy extend beyond therapy. In education, it helps students discover purpose and develop intrinsic motivation. In medical settings, it helps patients cope with chronic illness and existential challenges. Pastoral counseling benefits from tools helping people reconnect with deepest values. Business contexts increasingly recognize meaning-centered approaches improve engagement and satisfaction. As we move deeper into the 21st century, Frankl's insights seem more relevant than ever. The digital age has created new forms of existential vacuum as people struggle with social media comparison, information overload, and fragmented communities. Contemporary mental health challenges like depression and anxiety often have existential components that purely biological approaches may miss. Technology addiction often stems from the same existential emptiness Frankl identified decades ago. People turn to constant stimulation to fill the void left by meaninglessness. The increasing interest in mindfulness and spirituality reflects growing recognition of the human need for transcendence and meaning. Climate anxiety represents another area where logotherapeutic approaches may be valuable. The overwhelming nature of environmental challenges can lead to despair. Helping people find meaningful ways to engage with these issues, even in small ways, can transform anxiety into purposeful action. The gig economy and changing nature of work have created new challenges around finding meaning through career. Social media has created opportunities for connection, but also new forms of superficiality. Political polarization often reflects deeper disagreements about values and meaning. The loneliness epidemic reflects the breakdown of traditional sources of connection and community. Consumer culture's promise of happiness through acquisition often leaves people feeling empty despite material abundance. Frankl's critique of pursuing happiness as an end in itself offers an alternative framework focused on meaning and purpose. As we consider the enduring relevance of Viktor Frankl's work, we must remember that his insights weren't born from abstract theorizing, but from the most extreme test of human resilience imaginable. The man who survived Nazi concentration camps and used that experience to help millions offers us something invaluable. Proof that the human spirit is stronger than any circumstance. The second part of man's search for meaning isn't just psychological theory. It's a roadmap for anyone seeking to understand their purpose, find strength in difficulty, and contribute something meaningful to the world. Whether facing personal challenges, professional setbacks, or existential questions, logotherapy provides tools that are both practical and profound. His message continues to resonate because it addresses the deepest human needs, the need for purpose, for significance, to believe our lives matter. In a world that often seems chaotic and meaningless, Frankl reminds us that meaning is always available to those who seek it with courage and authenticity. The legacy of Viktor Frankl challenges us to look beyond immediate circumstances and ask the fundamental question: what is life asking of me? When we can answer that question with clarity and commitment, we discover we have everything needed to create a life of meaning and purpose, regardless of challenges we may face. If this exploration of Viktor Frankl's profound insights has resonated with you, I encourage you to subscribe to our channel for more content that bridges timeless wisdom and contemporary challenges. Share this video with someone who might benefit from understanding that meaning can be found even in the most difficult circumstances. Remember, as Frankl himself wrote, those who have a why to live for can bear almost any how.